Good evening, folks. Hope we're doing well. Q&A. Yes, first one of the run. These will be every 2 weeks, just to let you know. And I'm going to be running through the questions that we've had submitted. As with any week, okay, you're more than welcome to comment underneath the post regarding the Q&As. If you've got questions or if you want to submit something anonymously, if you're not comfortable or you feel embarrassed about asking and people seeing you asking, you can always submit the form. You'll get an email every 2 weeks about that, and basically be able to submit your questions, and it'll be all anonymous, and I'll answer what I can, where I can, in the briefest possible way I can. Okay, so like I say, this is to help you guys. If you've got any questions, always submit them, because there's probably other people out there that have the same questions as you. So number one, I've been asked, I see there's lots of stuff around creatine. Is it something that you would suggest taking, and what are the benefits in including it, please? Right, so basically this person's just wanting to know a bit about creatine, about what the benefits are. Creatine, believe it or not, is one of the most highly researched supplements scientifically, and it's been tested a lot, and it's to be shown one of the most safest that you can take. Now, creatine you can get in dairy and poultry and other meats as well. It's a bit harder to get if you're not eating meats. Basically, if you're vegan or veggie, it's a lot harder to get hold of. Now, when it comes to creatine, it can help from a performance side of things, but it depends on the person. If your nutrition isn't dialed in, then again, as with all supplements, it's pretty wasted money, and there's no point investing in it. But creatine, for most people, is safe to take. For a lot of people, taking 5 grams in a serving, and that could be it could be dosed in pre and post workout. It depends on the training methodology and the outcome that you're chasing to whether you use it. Now, I've got to say, I've used creatine myself. I've never noticed any real benefit from it. I've tested it at very different points in my life. As with anything, it's very hard to always measure it. To be honest with you, it's very hard to gauge unless you can measure it, test without, and then test again with, and see if you get the same desired outcome. So, if you're wanting to take it, then you could always take it and take 5 grams serving. For most of you, like I say, unless you've got underlying health conditions or kidney issues, then you need to be careful with it. Don't take too much in one go. If you're not tolerant to it, it'll go straight through you and you'll end up with an upset stomach. Creatine monohydrate is the most commonly used. It's quite cheap, quite easily available. If you want to try and use some and see how you get on with it, by all means, feel free to. But post-workouts, generally the most optimal time to take it because your body's more highly absorbable and you have to build up creatine levels. So you have to do it over a number of weeks before you will potentially see any benefit with it. But in theory, it will allow you to train harder, and it can help with the recovery and muscle development. So if someone's chasing hypertrophy and muscle building and strength, then sometimes we'll use it. Or higher performance, sometimes people will use it. That's the main reason. Okay, that's answered that one. Number 2, are you able to provide me with an exercise plan to help strengthen my stomach muscles? And I'm not sure what the end means. It says, and may A6 one day. I don't know really what that means. So what I'd say with that is, yes, there is some muscle strengthening exercises for your tummy. If you're in the Facebook group, there is a guide that says workouts, and there's a load of abdominal workouts in there. We have some pre-done ones potentially that I might be able to find for you. I can have a look to see what we've got. I know there's some videos that we did over lockdown that we also recorded. They're in the Facebook group. But if whoever this is that's asked the question comes and sees me, I'll see if we've got any pre-done ones. If we have to start building you individual plans, that unfortunately we need to charge for the time for that. because we we can't just factor that in. It's not a minute job. All I will tell you is we're training the tummy muscles. You won't it won't get rid of the fat. The problem we have is, as with everything, body fat goes from the whole of the body. It's not just from one area. You cannot spot reduce. Is it good to encourage blood flow or more blood flow around those areas where there is a lot of fat? Yes, definitely. So training that area can help. But if you've got a lot of fat and you're not addressing your nutrition, you're not going to see your tummy muscles. If this question is to just, strengthen it up in general, and it's not about building abs, and it's just about general strengthening, then just simple things daily, like bracing your tummy when you're sitting, making sure you brace when you do your squats, making sure that when you plank, you engage fully, can all help you. But putting some of the basic exercises in place will do most of you, right? Just to help with that side of things. So you can definitely do that. If whoever this is that's asked the question, please either come and see me in the gym or Adam, and one of us will see if we've got some pre-done plans. Like I say, there's a load in the Facebook group. There should be a document in your online coaching platform that will have a link to a load of workouts too. If it's not, again, we can give you that. There's loads already done. I'll tell you the reason why we don't do loads of it is because to be honest, we think it's a waste of our time and your time with us. This is why we don't put much direct in, because your muscles will be firing every time you lift weights. Okay, when you exercise, you engage, you brace, that fires up the muscles anyway, and that will make them stronger. Hope that answers your question. Okay, question number 3. I struggle with consistency and need to learn how to be consistent with your diet. Right, that's a big question. I think everyone struggles with consistency, and you need to... consistency is hard, right? Consistency is hard. Like, getting your diet is hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it and we'd be all walking around really lean. The problem is we have lots of different factors going on. Environmental factors outside of what you eat in can affect you. Stress levels can affect belly fat and how much belly fat you have. So the more stressed out people, generally you see more belly fat on them. You'll also find that the other side of things is with what's going on in life, how much movement you're getting will affect everything. Now, with consistency and being consistent, you're never going to be 100% perfect. I want you to get over that right now. People strive for perfection. I've been there. I was very all or nothing, and I've had to come away from that because it's not healthy, and you can end up going into really bad ways with the way you look into your nutrition. So what I would say is being consistent. It doesn't necessarily mean being perfect with your meals every day. What it means is, what am I doing better this week than I did last week? What am I doing better this month than I did last week? If you want some tactical tips on this, and I'm assuming that's what you're hoping for, because it is a very big question, and that I could spend half an hour to an hour, maybe or even longer, running on this. If you're talking about tactics of how to help with your consistency, track your food. And I tell this to everyone, track your food. Whether that's a photo of your meal every day, whether that's writing your food down. I personally like MyFitnessPal for a lot of people, because that shows them the reality of what's going on. And don't overcomplicate it. If you're like, oh, I can't find that lettuce from Sainsbury's, choose a lettuce from Tesco. It won't be that big a difference. But if you're trying to find a beef burger from McDonald's against a homemade beef burger, then you might get a big difference. All right, just find what's near to it. Like MyFitnessPal is by far a game changer for a lot of people, because it tells them exactly what they're eating, when, and how much of it, and where they're going. Not where they're going wrong, but it can highlight potentially where they're going wrong. I have people which will give me different definitions of their way of healthy. I'll have a conversation with one person, another, and they'll all give me different definitions. And when it comes to the food side, what you might describe as 3 healthy meals, somebody else might describe as having 5 healthy meals. So it's hard to try and get that balance right there on that. So we need to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're aware of what you're doing to start with. And I'm a strong believer in that awareness is what will help you to begin with. That's the very first stage of everything. Once you're aware of what you're doing and where you're making some errors, then you can start making changes. But all the people that get the best results that we've ever had in any programs that we've ever had, they've always tracked their food. And usually that is done in some form of food tracking software, whether it's in our online coaching platform or MyFitnessPal or something. They're the ones that always get the best results. All right. It could be you just need to focus on one element, and it could be you just need to maybe focus on your protein levels. That is another big thing that we see a problem with. If you can get that on each day, then that's good. I would be interested if you could give me a bit more context around what you mean by learn how to be consistent. The learn how you get to be consistent is by taking action and actually doing. So I think this might be a bit more to this question. Whoever's asked this, could you please submit a question with a bit more information again, and I'll see if I can cover it a bit better for you. I hope that answers your question. Question number 4. So I would really like to practice pull-ups at home, but how do I do it without a frame or bar? There are no trees in the garden that I could use either, so I feel a bit stuck. Any help appreciated. So for whoever this is, that makes it really difficult because you need to get practiced at pulling. The only things that you could really help to help with you if you've got none of those elements at home, the only real element is to get maybe a band and tie it to something and work on the pulling exercise, because that will ultimately help you get stronger in that range. If you've got literally nothing to pull out on, it makes it very difficult to practice that movement. You see, if you said no pull-up bars at home, then I'd probably say maybe try a tree, providing the branches are strong enough. But the only other option, like I say, other than tying a band around something and just focusing on the retraction, that is not necessarily going to build you the body weight strength that you need to do a full chin. So what about going to a local park, taking a band with you and tying the band around the because a lot of them have exercise frames now where they've got these like just straight bars, and then you just jump and then take your time lowering yourself down, or you tie one of those elastic bands around that we've got. Could be an option for you if you're struggling. Other than that, in the coach's choice, maybe see if you can do some then. In this current phase of programming, we are doing some stuff that would help with that, which is like on Monday we did these pulls on the dip bar. You can always use them to help you, so that'll help, which is workout number 1. But that movement is mainly done through actually holding a bar or a tree or something. If you had a low bar, you could just lift your full out stretch, legs extended, and then pull yourself up. If there's a low bar at the park as well, that could be another option. I've not got a lot of solutions for you on that, I'm afraid. Sorry. So hopefully that's answered that as best I can for you. Number 5, if I do 3 semi-private PTs per week, which would be the 3 most optimal days to visit the gym to gain the most from the programs which you design? For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, etc. Well, any other days. We design all the programs to be all over body. On all of the workouts are all over body. We, as you probably, if you've seen the video in the Facebook group, if not, have a look at that. I posted that on Tuesday, and that tells you a bit about the programs and why we're doing them and why we're doing them and the structure of them. Okay, that might give you a bit of better understanding with it. But the way we program all the programs is to basically have an all over body workout, so that no matter what day somebody hits, they'll get exposure to it. Now, the other thing is we have 6 different programs. From a coaching standpoint of view, that actually is a little bit counterintuitive. And before COVID, we used to only have 3 programs, and we'd do day 1, day 2, day 3. And then on day 4, we'd go day 1, day 2, day 3. The problem with that is people that are moving around all over the week or training on the same days sometimes end up getting exposed to the same programs twice in a week or 4 times in a row, and it's really frustrating for them. So after COVID, we changed that, and we actually do 6 different programs. So you have a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Now we post these schedules into the Facebook group. If you actually, I think, look under files, you'll find that in the Facebook group. We usually send this out linked with the email as well at the end of each month or at the start of each month whenever we send a bit of a review, an overview out. That shows you the program rota. And then if you look at the programs that we've also uploaded to the Facebook group, and they're in the online coaching platform, by the way. Yeah, the programs are in the online coaching platform. You can then see what workouts are on which days. So if you have a preference to one or the other, then you could do that. In this current phase, we are doing one day where it's front-loaded cardio with a couple of supersets, and then on another day it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's more strength-based. So day 1, day 3, day 5 is all front-loaded cardio. So we do cardio at the beginning, and there's different versions of that to help increase people's heart health. The day 2, day 4, day 6 are a workout based around strength. So there's one big compound lift, in other words, one big body part lift, followed by maybe a tricep or some cardio. I'm not going to go into that because I've already recorded a video on that. Go and watch Tuesday's video for that. With the with training, with any of this, I'll always say it also depends. It depends on what you're chasing. If you want to, like normally the way the programs are, we have one set theme running through, and then we cycle those phases. So we do each phase and we take you through what we call intensification and accumulation phases. And this is to expose you to different rep ranges, different getting you stronger in different movements. It's to get you stronger through all the rep ranges, not just 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 15 to 20. Because we have strength cycle, we have hypertrophy, which is muscle building. We also have strength endurance and strength endurance, and there's loads of different versions. I'm not going to go into that on this. It's too big a question for that, too big a answer for that. But what I would say is, at the minute, this phase is 3 days of conditioning on the front of the session, followed by some traditionally based strength and hypertrophy work. And then the other 3 days, which is 2, 4, and 6, they're more based around strength. So if you fancy working on your strength a bit more, this next phase for this next 6 weeks, and more on the getting stronger, building more muscle tone, then I would say you'll be better doing days 2, 4, and 6. And that, like I say, they alter each week. So this week it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Next week it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The week after, okay, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday again, because they're the cycles that they run in. So just keep an eye on that. We don't run isolating body parts or set body parts for that very reason, because we want people to be able to attend all the sessions. And the design behind them is so that if someone wants to train 5 days a week, they can do. We don't explicitly exploit one day more than another. Again, I hope that makes sense. We listen to the people's feedback. This is why we added 6 programs instead of 3, and we run 6-week blocks with them. Again, I do hope that's answered your question. If it's not, please feel free to comment on the post, or again, submit the question just with a bit more detail or a bit more about what you're trying to achieve, and then I'll see if it sways it at all in any way. I'll probably just say any of them, because we try and hit all over body. Again, I hope that helps, and thank you for submitting your questions. It's nice to be useful and you use my brain knowledge. I do have a lot of knowledge in a lot of specialist areas, guys. Whilst I can't directly advise some of you with some of these specialist things, I can tell you about some of the stuff I know about them and how that might help you, because we have to be careful on how and what we tell you to do, right? So yeah, hopefully that helps. I look forward to your next batch of questions. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them in a group. I'll do my best to get back to you, or one of us will get back to you as soon as we can. We are trying to schedule a weekly workout into the Facebook group for you all as well, for those of you that don't know. And yeah, again, I hope that helps for you, and I look forward to speaking to you soon or seeing you soon. Take care.